We all know AI is getting crazy good at a lot of things writing code, making art, you name it. But what about writing an entire novel? And not just any novel. We're talking about one designed to break into one of the most competitive, most insane creative markets in the world. Well, today we're diving into the story of how an AI wrote a Japanese light novel so well, you'd probably never guess it wasn't human.
All right, to kick things off, just get a load of this title. For those who can't read Japanese, it's roughly regarding the time a corporate drone systems engineer was reincarnated into a flawed world where magic runs on spaghetti code, and while debugging the chance, he unwittingly mass-produced mythical-grade magic and was almost imprisoned by a saint. Yep, that's the real full title. Let that sink in for a second. So here's the big question. Looking at that incredibly specific, almost ridiculously long title, would you ever in a million years guess that it was all dreamed up, plotted out, and written by an artificial intelligence? Because it was. This is the story of how AI is becoming more than just a writer's tool, it's becoming a full-blown strategic partner.
Now, to really get what a huge deal this is, you have to understand the world of Japanese web novels, or Narou-kei. It is an absolutely flooded market. Thousands of writers are all competing for eyeballs, and to even get noticed, you need a killer hook. And often, that hook is a title that basically tells you the entire story up front. The pressure to pump out tons of content and fast is just immense. You know, for the longest time, the idea of an AI writing a whole book was basically a joke. And the reason why was this thing called the wall of long-form writing. See, older AIs had the memory of a goldfish. They'd introduce a character in chapter 1 and completely forget who they were by chapter 5. The whole story would just crumble under the weight of its own inconsistencies. So what changed? Well, the game changer was a new kind of technology called an AI agent. In this case, it was a tool from Google called Antigravity. And this wasn't just a slightly smarter AI, it was a totally different way of thinking that gave the AI the one thing it was desperately missing, a perfect, unshakable memory. Okay, so this slide really breaks it down. A normal AI tries to cram the entire story into its short-term memory, and, well, it just can't handle it. But an AI agent? It works more like a project manager. It creates these external documents, character sheets, plot outlines, world-building rules, what the author called a setting Bible. It can check this Bible constantly, which means it guarantees perfect consistency. It's a huge leap forward. Armed with this powerful new tool, a Japanese author and journalist named Kyoshi Shin decided to run this absolutely fascinating experiment. He split it into two acts. First, could he teach the AI to copy his own unique writing style? And then, for Act 2, could he unleash it to become a market-savvy strategist and write a commercial hit from scratch? So, for Act 1, the goal was really personal. Shin basically fed the AI his own collection of short stories and said, "Analyze this. Learn my themes, my sentence patterns, my vibe." He wanted to see if the machine could generate a brand new story that felt like something he would have written. The AI's first attempt, it was okay, technically sound, but it was a little bland, a little too clean, touching sci-fi, as he put it. It lacked soul, so he gave it this amazing piece of feedback. He told it to add more human-like, slightly sticky texture. He wanted the messiness of real life, awkwardness, weird economic details, stuff like that. And believe it or not, it worked. The AI got it, and the next draft was way, way closer to his style. But mimicking a style is one thing. Can you actually engineer a bestseller? That was the goal for Act 2. Shin gave the AI a much bigger task. Create a totally new Isekai, or reincarnated in another world novel. This is a super popular genre that he himself would never write, and he wanted to see if the AI could crack the code for what makes one of them a hit. And this is where my mind was kind of blown. The AI didn't just start spitting out words. No, it acted like a marketing pro. It laid out a clear 3-step plan. Step 1, analyze the market to see what's trending right now. Step 2, generate characters and plot points based on that data. And only then, as step 3, would it actually start writing. So what did its analysis turn up? Well, the AI scanned the top-ranking novels on a popular site called Kakuyomu and basically distilled the winning formula. The genre had to be fantasy isekai. The main character, he's got to be overpowered using skills from his past life. The heroine can't be simple. She needs a heavy, complicated kind of love. And the title? You guessed it. It has to be a super long plot summary. So with this blueprint for a hit, the AI got to work building the novel's foundation. And this is where that setting Bible becomes its secret weapon. It created a master document for the world, the characters, the magic system, everything.
And as it wrote, it updated that file in real time. So if a character's backstory changes, that's reflected everywhere. Zero plot holes. It's every author's dream, really. So, what did the actual writing process look like? It wasn't the human writing and the AI fixing it or the other way around. It was something totally new. The human acted more like a movie director, and the AI was like this incredibly talented, data-driven writer ready to take instructions. Shin would read what the AI wrote and give notes, just like a director on set. For instance, there was a battle scene that felt a little flat. His feedback was simple and to the point. I want a bigger, flashier explosion. He even told it to make the characters chant some nonsense words to make the magic feel more epic. And just like that, the AI would rewrite the scene, instantly. This is probably my favorite part of the whole story. After they finished the first arc, Shin asked the AI for ideas on what should happen next. The AI, citing its own market research, calmly suggested they should do a harem storyline, where the hero travels around and gains the affection of multiple girls. And its reasoning? Because that's the standard, expected trope for this genre. The AI knew what the fans wanted better than the human did. The amount of work the AI produced was just staggering. In just the first 12 chapters, basically the first major part of the story, the AI wrote around 34,000 Japanese characters. That's practically a novella, created from absolute zero. But if that number was impressive, this next one is just unbelievable. That entire process, the market research, the plotting, the writing, the revisions, all 34,000 characters, took a grand total of about 1 day. Let that sink in. A process that would take a human author weeks, if not months, was crunched down into a single 24-hour period. So you might be thinking, okay, it's fast, but is it any good? Well, according to Shin, the final result was so coherent and the quality was so high that it's genuinely hard to tell it wasn't written by a person. The line between human and machine creativity has officially been blurred. When he reflected on the whole thing, Shin said it didn't really feel like writing in the traditional sense. He said it was more like being a game master in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. He would set the scene and present the challenges, and the AI, like a brilliant and tireless player, would bring the story to life right in front of him. And that really leaves us with a wild question about the future of all of this. When you can literally direct a story into existence, working with an AI partner that knows the market and never forgets a detail, are you even writing anymore? Or are you creating a totally new kind of interactive reading experience? It's a pretty mind-bending thought to end on.